Good evening, everyone. Well, it's another Gameshow stream, and this time is about a movie called Forbidden Planet. It's a sci-fi movie, and yesterday we did Thomas of Friends, and boy, that was it was fun. I was not expecting so many questions, but okay, 140. But I decided I would do like a long game show stream by the end of the month um, about cryptids. Normally I do like 81 questions, but this time I decided to do 246 questions. So that will be a long game show stream. More like I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours, but it's hard to tell. And for now, that's at least a further update about that. But I might be doing some more updating about it a bit later on, since September had just barely started. Right. There is even about September that's is not a good day. And I have a friend right there who may be telling you exactly why.
That's me.
Do you, do you know what happens in September?
Yep.
And what it is?
9/11.
Bingo. Yeah, 9/11 was a tough day. It is about 22 years ago when it happened. I was barely I was barely 10 years old when that happened. And it took 9.5 years, 9.5, for be able to track down Al Qaeda's main leader at the time, Osama bin Laden, and that operation was named Neptune Neptune Spear. And also actually the time of Obama's turn in office, and that is here. Um, yeah, so I saw a reaction video on YouTube of people talking about it, and it was crazy. It was literally crazy. Like seeing people from New York, how they reacted, especially in a bar and outside of those buildings where they have TV screens on it, just seeing their reaction and how they really celebrated. Because who would put the most people that most affect most of 9/11? That would be New Yorkers. Even it have affected entire America, but the New Yorkers were the most affected people because it happened in their city. And who knows? I mean, what if they had more planes? What if the White House could have been a target? I mean, Pentagon was one of the places that were target, and it did actually impact in a building, but not so much serious damage as the towers was. Crystal the Hedgehog is here.
Hey,
Well,
Hey, what's up?
how you been?
I'm doing good.
Oh, that's good.
It's been a while since I've talked to you.
Yeah, it's actually good. Yeah. Oh,
So yeah, I have good news for you guys.
what?
and what is that?
So I have my girlfriend is taking school. Like she's basically going online, getting some job experience and stuff like that, and she's always busy. And I understand that. Whenever she can respond, she responds. But I already talked to Swedish, and Game Guy didn't know it at the time, but I wanted to do a birthday video for my girlfriend, and Pretty soon it's gonna be done, probably before her birthday. But whenever it is up, I'm gonna just let her know, hey, I decided to have a friend of mine help me make a video for her, and her OC. Actually, let me see if I can actually add the picture I made for her. How do I even do that? Uh, oh, I can actually add the picture. So I'm going to show you guys what the avatar of hers looks like. Done. Fly.
Is it working?
It, it's working, but I have. There we go. That is the picture I made for my girlfriend.
No.
Yeah. And my girlfriend is actually 9 years younger than me. So she's
The,
turning 20.
Uh,
She's turning 20 this year.
that's a bit of an age gap. But whatever floats your
Yeah.
boat, man.
Yeah,
Well, the
there's other people out there that are older than 9 years
That's
older.
why I said whatever floats your boat, man.
well,
Yep.
to be fair, I mean, I'm kind of in the same position as Dashi. Me and my girlfriend, there's 6 years apart between us, so I know what he means. And some people actually can be as 10 years as between. I
Yep.
mean, I saw this one video. That's what this. She was 18 and she was dating and living with a man who was 68.
oh,
She.
Jesus.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know that there are some. I mean, there are even older women that can be from their 40s or 50s that can be dating young men in their from some babies from 19 and early 20s. They are called cougars for some reason. And the same
Fair.
thing is for men. I understand. I can understand some young men prefer older women, and okay, that makes sense. I mean, so they what do you feel attracted towards? I mean, if game guy wanted to be attracted to someone who's older than him, maybe a few years older, like say 5 or 6 years older, that's fine. But if he somehow were attracted to someone who's say maybe in her mid 40s, and if he tells his family about that, they might have mixed feelings. Actually, I actually had that as a personal experience. When I was just barely 22 years old, I had just broken up with my ex at the time, and an older woman, I think between her early 40s to mid 40s, something like that, she actually asked me if I wanted to be dating her, but I said no. After all, she was old enough to be my mom, for God's sake.
Jeez.
Jesus
Yeah,
Hmm.
Christ.
yeah. I understand that some people want to be older women want to date a younger man. Okay, that's fine, but at least after considering for one of the things, like, I mean, what if the young man wants to start a family, and if the woman is in her late 30s or maybe it's mid 40s, that's nearly impossible because as the woman getting older, the less chance from having a baby more natural way, unless you're having treatments. But
Yeah.
the treatment itself can be quite expensive, and
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
as necessary.
In my relationship, we are perfectly legal to be together because she's
Yeah,
over 18.
yeah. Even if he was 19 or even 18, and even
Yeah.
if game guy, yeah, and even if game guy was say 21, or at least if he was 20 and he was having a girlfriend who was 17, that's perfect fine. It's just only barely
Because in
two,
some
3 years
states,
apart.
yeah, some
Yeah,
states you could be 17 and be an adult.
yeah, exactly. And even if this only if they live the same city, the same state, it's only 2, 3 years apart. It's like if Brony was seeing someone, and he and she was maybe just maybe few months apart from being turning 18 or 19. That's more also fine. But unfortunately, not everyone in the world seeing that way.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens that in several parts of the world, in depends on from culture to culture. I know that certain the youngest person that got divorced.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
microphone.
Michael.
She was 10 years old when she got divorced.
Yeah. In other countries, they don't care what your age is. Doesn't matter if
Yeah,
you're a kid or not. You could be with someone.
exactly.
It's stupid.
Yeah, some countries in the Middle East or in Asia, then they can actually just actually put a girl who could have been just in a from age 7 to even maybe it's 9 to a man in his late 30s and early 40s or perhaps even his 50s.
Jeez.
That's another problem. But unfortunately, um, I actually read some of that the age consent.
Yeah.
In some of the countries, they actually allowed it as young as if they were in an elementary age.
Jeez.
But some of the countries did change that laws
Yeah.
into so it's one of the most devastating effect of how people. I mean, that was considering it pretty much very much acceptable back in the ancient times. Like, if you go as far back as in ancient Egypt, marrying someone within your own family, like a father could marry his own daughter, the mother could marry her son, and the siblings could get married with each other, even have offsprings. That was for a reason. They had only for their reason was because they want to keep their royal bloodline pure, not want to involve any other standard people. Well, that depends on if they were high nobles.
Yeah.
But that's like Tutankhamun, for example. His parents were brother and sister, and he even married his own half sister and have daughters.
Jeez.
And here's another thing: if you were having a cousin and you were considered in love with her and you want to marry her, that's legal. It's
In the
legal
U.S.
in the U.S. and in Sweden and most part of the world.
Jeez.
Well, that's um, and here's another thing: if let's say if Game Guy had his mom was marrying a man and he had a daughter around the same age as Game Guy, and if the daughter and Game Guy fell in love, they can actually marry it legally since they were not even blood related.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. I know that blood related siblings can't get married, but
Yeah.
plot twist: half siblings can in fact get married, but only in two countries: Brazil, surprising enough, Sweden. Even I wasn't aware of that. It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I've heard about the cousin can get married to your cousin.
yeah
It's
that
interesting.
and in the U.S. there are some states that were considered illegal or something like that. It depends on of course it depends on um how far
Yeah.
in like how distant related you are. If your first cousin is once removed, or if you're somehow related. If say if like since you did mention that one before that you were related to Malachite and long distance cousins.
Yeah.
If you're like say if you were having fell in love with someone in your family and it turned out that family it's say maybe 3 or 4 generations apart in a distant cousins. That is
Yeah.
more that's more understandable. And step siblings or step cousins in any case can also get married because it's the same thing. they're not blood related.
Yeah, and they're
And
3 or 4 generations back.
yeah, but here's another thing about this. Since we all know what happened if blood related people get married and have a family. One family supposedly in the US did that. And the result, they turned blue. I'm not joking. They literally turned blue for some reason.
What?
I don't know exactly what the cause of the process of that. It was some biological process. I mean, I'm not even that deep in such advanced biology understanding myself, but it's
Damn.
yeah, it's like if it was in the Bible, if Adam and Eve was the first humans that was created, and they have the two, and they had two sons that we, according to at least, they had at least more than two children.
Yeah.
They had at least, they had, I think, 8 or 9,
Yeah.
and both Adam and Eve, according to the Bible, lived to be 930 years old.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's you do take the story with a grain of salt, because a person can live for 200 or even 900 years. The
I
longest
think
is,
I think I know why Adam and Eve lived that long.
well, here's another thing. They were actually even past. The reasons why they lived in that long is that they used it before they were banished from the Garden of Eden. They will live in Eden. They were immortal as long as they ate, but eating the fruit, that certain fruit of the tree, it gave them immortality. But after they had the apple from the tree of knowledge, the forbidden tree, they
Yeah.
lost it. They lost their ability to enter back to Eden and being having immortality. And during the time that they lived in Eden, and if Adam would fall from a tree, say as maybe 15 feet tall height,
Yeah.
he wouldn't even get injured, and he wouldn't even feel pain,
Dang.
because that was one of the places that if you lived in Eden, you wouldn't feel any pain. Like if someone was used to throw a rock in my head, I wouldn't feel no pain at all. It's one of the most well, that, and you know, even the story about Noah and his ark, you know, several other countries in the world had pretty much the same basic story of a giant great flood. Even 1,000 years before um, the Christianity was even formed, they had a story based on from the Old Testament that was based from the Jewish religion of Noah, and
Dang.
even I believe it was about several thousand years before then, during in the Mesopotamia, the Babylons, the Sumerians, they have their own version of a great flood and a man who saved every animal, everything. And yeah, it's just really almost. It's one of the most. It's and as in Adam and Eve, as this is the question: if man, if they were supposed to be mankind's true ancestors, that's actually is well is in the Bible, but but we actually know of a true Adam and Eve
Huh.
that did exist. They were actually called the Eve is called mitochondrial. Um, but Jesus basically this Adam and Eve lived 150,000 years ago
Damn.
from Africa. They were considered as the realistic Adam and Eve. I mean,
Your
in
tongue got
scientific,
twisted.
yeah, and it's from the scientific world. Earth is 4.6 billion years old, but in the Bible, Earth is only 6,000 years old.
Damn.
Yeah, and a lot of things based on in the Bible aren't fiction. It actually contains a lot of part in this could actually happen in real life.
Damn.
And even some scientists or researchers have tried to find some of the cities that actually have supposed to be um, in the Bible, like Bethlehem. That Bethlehem that or Nazareth where Jesus lived, they exist. And some other cities that or fishing village that where Jesus walked on the water, that city is long gone. But some researchers believe they have found it.
Hmm.
But here's another thing: how would we prove that if Jesus had a life? Because anyone can claim they found his tomb, but if you had remembered from your studies and learned about Jesus and his life, he
Yeah.
died during Easter. Yes, he was buried in the tomb, but he rose again after 3 days, and he after around then he rose up to the sky, up to heaven, and never came back. So anyone can claim they found his tomb, but without any human remains, that's impossible to tell if he actually did exist.
Huh.
A lot of things, though, based on Jesus' life, and after, before then and after then, and other big events, it can actually have happened. And scientists even believe that a great flood that supposed happened in the Bible actually was a real event, but that
Huh.
took place. According to some of the science, believe that took place around, uh, I think, between 9 or 8,000 years ago, when
Okay.
the Black Sea was formed, or a
Damn.
Mediterranean Sea, because centuries ago, the Mediterranean Sea was an open landscape, like no ocean. But
Damn.
the barrier of where it between Africa and Europe meets, where Portugal meets Africa, it broke, and this and the massive water of ocean flushed in and formed Mediterranean Sea.
Damn.
Some of the things that's happening in the Bible can actually been happening in real life. But it depends on, of course, on which part in the Bible that was considered happened. It depends. I mean, if the Bible is considered is Old and New Testament, it depends on in which part. Like, and like during they even made a movie of this. What's it called? Let's see, Prince of Egypt. That
Hmm.
pharaoh that killed the boys, ordered to be killed, they never mention in the Bible by name. And a lot of people are assuming that is Ramses II. And it could be possible. And it just some of the details of like people they mention in the Bible could actually existed, but even they never mentioned by names. Like the Pharaoh in the Prince of Egypt, Moses. He was somehow for never allowed to follow the rest of his people to cross the ocean after they spent 40 years traveling in a desert. But
I'm
anyways,
gonna, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna mute myself, and I'm gonna go make myself some coffee to wake up.
that's good.
Yep.
Until then, well, leave it just small talk until you return. So, how you been doing?
I've been doing good. Don't know if Brony's still here or not.
Yeah, Brony's there. He's just muted. And my day has been not much a calm for a second of it. uh, and since my niece was sleeping over, spending night today. Um, well, basically, I woke up around early noon. Um, I decided to take my niece to a playground not far from here, since my mom didn't want to go since my dad was at the time was not feeling well, like not that well. Even the same as yesterday, since my mom was really close to considered cold for 911. That bad. So I took her there for, I don't know, maybe in 20 minutes or so. Just been there for a little bit so that she can play. Then we went back home to have some lunch. That was around maybe 2 p.m. after that, so late lunch. um, After that, just I didn't do much. Just I was just doing some more questions about cryptids. Um, After that, I probably took a nap for maybe 2 hours. After that, uh, the whole my sisters, my niece. Um, what else? Well, here's the thing. When we showed up, there were a lot of people near the apartment complex where she lived. When I first saw, there was a lot of kids and teenagers, and someone have a football. Okay, they were just talking and playing football or something, but it wasn't even close to that. Because when me and my mom was driving to the apartment, a police car passed us in high speed. No lights, just high speed. And that gave us a clear what happened. Because my sister was standing nearby at outside the apartment because she was about to throw her trash away or something. And it turns out that a woman actually threatened some people there with a knife. And she threw it away somewhere. And at the time when we arrived, me and my mom, the police was there already and had started talking to a few other people was present at the time. If they would ask me and my mom, well, we would have given much anything since we were even there. But I couldn't stand still for even a moment because a lot of mosquitoes. Huh. I don't really hate them. It just the bites and afterwards it's itching and it's hard to resist. And my niece, well, she wanted to do going a slide first, a different place, but she didn't. There was a tons of flies, and she was scared. So we went to a different place, and that was fine. After dinner, I took another nap. I was that tired. But that was before I even started the stream, though, for once. Yeah, so I really haven't done much after that, and just been watching some more TV, and the weather has been nice at least for once. And yeah. By the way, have you ever heard of the movie Forbidden Planet?
Take a wild guess.
No.
You know me
um,
so well.
this movie was even made way before even I was even born, and it was even before even none of my parents was even born.
That would be why. Let's see.
Yeah. The main characters in this movie was played by Leslie Nielsen. Um, he's an actor, but passed away some years ago. I think he even played in another movie called Spy Hard. It's supposed to be a parody of a movie where, surprising enough, probably you know this guy. Weird Al made the intro to the music, and the thing is, but when he made the song near his before the movie started, he kept singing without stop, even breathing, and his face started to turn red, and then almost blue, and boom, just blow up. He actually he had made a lot of music videos over the years. One of this, he is an Amish. One when he's a Jedi for some odd reason. But Weird Al is he's a unique character. I mean, he played Cheese Sandwich from MLPG 4, so that was just. But he mentioned, but he's gonna appear in the in that show. I was like, what? And grandpa, um, the Apple siblings' would be maternal grandfather is actually voiced by William Shatner, and that's one of the things I really didn't expect it. I heard some rumors based on that William Shatner, when he was playing the role as Kirk in the original Star Trek in the 60s, he all the people was not pleasant that he demanded more screen time than any of the other actors. But if that is true, I don't know. I mean, they never. There's only some things that I heard. If that's true or not, I have no idea. So, what is your thoughts of the stream we did yesterday about Thomas and Friends?
Well, it was good
Yeah, it
and
was.
long, very, very long.
Yeah, 140 questions. So, well, you should probably expect by now that even when Malachite asked me to do this murder she wrote of 116 questions, it wouldn't be much as any that difficult. I mean, I've seen the show multiple times, and sometimes my memory good enough, but I still remember some episodes from part of it, and so far I have found up to as come on, where is it? Um, well, I had actually made 3 screenshots of for the for that, but they contain at least a few more information. And yeah, since I decided to do this Gameshow stream by cryptids by um, September 30th, it's gonna be 246 questions. And that's be let's see, rough. Nope, that would be roughly 3 pages. But since I had made total, um, let's see, 22, those, uh, total of, wow, 3,078 questions so far.
Dang.
But that is include the times when I did the ones past streams. That would be include, uh, which would be another 81 from that one, and that one 81 from that, and that would be in total of 3,321. So, and that is not the end of it. Since I found more questions or more sources, more websites that I can go for, I mean, I will try to find questions or cryptids that's supposed to be living in other part of the world. I did find some more cryptids that lives in part of Asia, like Indonesia, where Bron is from, And of course, but I'm pretty sure Brony is aware of one creature called Aswang, which is supposed to be kind of, I would say, not like a vampiric species, but some of the cryptids that has been seen for thousands of years, considered as spirits or ghosts, will not be included because ghost itself is not necessarily well, not thing I want to include. But I was actually not surprised that where Brony lives in Indonesia, there are some Bigfoot type creatures. Not only in his country, but some of the other surrounding areas like Java, Sumatra, and other part of the Indonesian Ocean. I mean, Australia have their own version of the Jawi, Yeti in the Himalaya, um, and so much more than that. And lake monsters, for example. It tons of different lake monsters. And I was looking for even potentially more cryptids from your home state, but the only one I know of is the woods devil that's supposed to be a Bigfoot type. Here's the thing: there are no photos of that Bigfoot at all. No videos because it's very hard to see. You know, I probably should. I probably we should start doing the stream, Gameshow stream by now. So Dashi can always pop in when his coffee is ready. Um, can do this. Put him at the bottom. There we go. Brony, are you gonna play? Um, is your brother going to show up or not? By any chance?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, we can start right now though, since we never know when Dash is going to show up again. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Number one. In what year was the sci-fi movie Forbidden Planet produced? A. 1965, B. 1956, C. 1969, or D. 1958?
Hmm. Wait a second. I'm forgetting the most important thing. I'm gonna need this. Because I have no clue what I'm saying, so luck be my lady tonight. And the first thing I get is a C. So C, final.
C.
Yeah.
And or was actually B. 1956. And despite this being made in the mid 50s, it's actually colored. It's yeah, this movie actually used an actual ship. Well, they used in the ship, but in the movie it's a model. There were even falls up this I when I read about this movie on Wikipedia, there were actually discussions of making a remake of this movie, but eventually it was cancelled. Since I don't know if Prone is awake or not. Anyways, number two. How long is the sci-fi science fiction movie Forbidden Planet? A. 1 hour 48 minutes. B. 1 hour 44 minutes. C. 1 hour 25 minutes. Or D. 1 hour or 55 minutes. Brony can always use the private chat to put his answer. That depends if he is awake or not. this movie was actually it's interesting. I've probably seen it at least a handful of times by now. I would consider it one of the best sci-fi back from the early 50s, actually. Brownie, are you still alive? Seems as he is not responding. Well, how about you use a D20 for him?
You know what? I'm gonna use a separate D20 for him. Actually, you know what? He doesn't deserve that. He deserves to get an octohedron or a D8. I like octohedron better though. Sounds cooler. That is a C. All right, I'm not used to this 8-sided dice, so he also goes with C.
C ain't wrong, it's actually B.
Ah,
And another thing is that this movie, these questions are not even 80. It's only 72. It was a little bit difficult to figure out any good questions, so that's one. Number 3, and you might have to use that for Dash yourself as well, since he is not air at the moment. Anyways, uh, number 3. Which major movie company was it that producing The Forbidden Planet? A. Warner Bros. B. Universal Pictures. C. Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Or D. Paramount Pictures.
wait. If I have to do, I'm gonna have to do 3 dice right now.
Apparently so. Until it is until Dachi's return.
It's gonna be a battle of the dice right here. That's what's gonna happen. We've got 2 D20s and an 8-sided dice. We're gonna see which one's the best. Clearly, that's what this is. Dashi also goes with C. What is happening with these dice?
C. Ding ding ding. Correct. Exactly. C for him.
I guess gambler's policy. I guess.
Yeah, you
Here,
can
I'll
probably
do this.
keep the points as well.
Oh, Brownie's back.
That depends if you want to play around.
Or no, he's not actually back. That
Right.
was I miss.
All right.
I thought that 3 was a 5. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Blind is a bad
You're-
apparently.
You're next. Hard question number 4. The science fiction movie Forbidden Planet is said to take place in the distant future. And in which century is the movie said to take place? A. 24th century. B. 21st century. C. 25th century. Or D. 31st century.
Well, let's find out. You want to know something?
C.
It's gonna be one of those days. Yep, it's C again. I don't know why.
Wrong. It's actually B. 21st century.
It's this
Yeah.
whole thing. It's just me getting C. I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
As like yesterday when one of the questions Malachi made like C D20.
That was
that was that was
jeez.
that was unexpected. By the way, the D20, does that have an actual name? Since the other one is the only 8 sides, so it's called Octocon. But what's the D20 called? Do you know that?
I think it's like a dodecahedron, like
Okay.
something ridiculous like that. But most
But-
people just called it D20.
But the regular dice that only has 6 points on, do you know if that has any particular name? Do you know the regular dice with only 6 points on? If do you know if that has any particular name as well?
Well, it's likely called a hexadedron
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
because hex is 6. So
All right. Next, number 5 for Brony. Earth descended the starship C-57D on a journey to a distant planet. In which class is the starship? A. Cruiser, B. Science vessel, C. Battlecruiser, or D. Warship?
all right, that's actually. So he gets an A finally, something that isn't C.
A. Ding ding ding. Correct. Is actually A. Cruiser.
All right, Brony gets a point.
Number 6 for Dashi. A trick question. Are the starships C-57D shaped as a flying saucer? Yes or no?
This is a yes or no, so we're gonna do high can be low and low can be yes, I guess. That is a 4, so he's gonna go with yes.
Ding ding ding. Correct. Is actually yes. It literally is shaped as a flying saucer. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Since this movie was made in the mid 50s, and since Roswell happened in 1947, and ever since then, a lot of people have seen UFOs shaped as flying saucers. But now these days, people have seen supposed UFOs shaped as triangles and even as cigar shaped, and even as egg shaped, or even as a sphere shaped. You never know how they can look like, but this one is shaped as a flying saucer, and I would have been surprised or is shocked that they decided to use a flying saucer in as an inspiration after the famous Roswell crash. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, and probably the most easier one of the easier models to be used. Number 7, um, for you. After the starship C-57D left Earth, it spent a certain time on its journey to its destination. And how long did they travel to the destination? A. 5 months. B. 9 months. C. 1 year. Or D. 6 months.
Well, I got a super A, so A final.
Wrong, exactly. C. 1 year.
It's gonna be a long day.
Yeah. Number 8 for Brownie. The starship C-57D was sent to a planet, and what was the name of the planet? A. Altair 5, B. Altair 2, C. Altair 9, or D. Altair 4?
Oh, this is Brony.
Yes, Brownie.
Good. Now I gotta keep track of everything too. That's just great. 2. All right, he's going with A.
Wrong, it's actually D. Altair 4. Number 9 for Dashi. The starship C-57D belongs to an organization, and what's the name of the organization? A. United Planets, B. United Earth, C. United Solar, or D. United Global?
Let's see.
Can you say that again? I'm back.
All right. The starship
That's what I need.
C-57D belongs to an organization, And what is the name of the organization? A. United Planets, B. United Earth, C. United Solar, or D. United Global?
I'm gonna say the United Earth.
And wrong, it's actually A. United Planets. Close
Huh.
though. Number 10 for
Who's
you.
winning? Who's winning so far?
Brown is in the lead for 2 points.
Okay.
Yeah, Game Guy hasn't even got any points yet, so. But
Oh.
there's still one question left. Number 10 for you, Game Guy. Who was the commanding officer of the starship C-57D? A. Jerry Foreman, B. Gray, C. Randall, or D. John G. Adams?
Okay. I don't have to roll like 30 of these things. That's a super D. Alright. D final.
D. Ding ding ding. Correct. Is actually D. John J. Adams.
Fun when you're on the leaderboard.
I'm not there because I haven't gotten a point until now, so.
I know. I'm talking about on the board of winning points.
Yeah, I just called you Brony because it's a nickname.
That. Oh my goodness, that fits me perfectly because I'm into My Little Pony.
That's also your unusual name, so.
By the way, Dashi, your girlfriend is American?
I think, yeah, she would be American because she speaks English.
Makes sense. Well, that depends. If that a lot of people around the world, other countries, do speak English also, even if it's not a language. But
True.
but it's okay though that you actually found someone you can be with eventually.
True. At least she asked me out. I didn't ask her out. She asked me out.
That's fine. At least that you did.
Yep.
Okay. Let's actually continue for the questions there. Number 11 for Brownie, I think. Is it?
Should be, I think.
Yeah, it is. It says you have 10. The
How many
planet
points
which
do I have? And I know Game Guy has one.
yeah. Okay, number 11. The planet which C-57D went to is orbiting around a star, and the star has a certain color. And what color does the star have? A. White, B. Red, C. Yellow, or D. Orange?
Alright, he gets the octahedron. Let's see what this says. That's a C. So he gets with C, I guess.
C. And wrong, exactly B. Red. And yes, the stars in our universe do in fact have a number of different colors, like white stars, red giants, red dwarfs, and even brown dwarfs. So it's surprising there is a different colors on different stars. Number 12 for Dashi. Another star shape named Belarop, Belarutov, okay, Belrupon, arrived to the same planet as it a number of years earlier. How many years earlier did Bellerophon arrive to the planet? A. 10 years, B. 12 years, C. 20 years, or D. 5 years? And this is Dashi's question.
Oh, I thought it was Game Guy, then me.
No, Brown is before you, and your last one. Did
Oh,
you even get the? Do you need me to repeat the question?
yes, please.
Another star ship named Bellerophon arrived to the same planet set a number of years earlier. How many years earlier did the Bellerophon arrive to the planet? A. 10 years, B. 12 years, C. 20 years, or D. 5 years?
I'm gonna go with D.
B. 12 years,
No, D.
D. 5 years. And wrong was actually C. 20 years. So
Huh.
this ship arrived 20 years before the one that the C-57D did.
Uh,
Okay, trick question for Game Guy. Number 13. When the crew of C-57D were slowing down from hyperspeed, did they place themselves in a field of energy during the process, yes or no?
No.
Wrong exactly is. Well, since they did that, they didn't sit down while the ship was slowing down from hyperspeed. They put this it's like a they were doing it in a platform, and this light beam was over them, putting them in some sort of kind of protection field while their ship was slowing down. Excuse me. Okay, number 14 for Brony. The planet C57D traveled is located a number of light years from Earth. How many light years is it from Earth? A. 8.7 light years. B. 16.7 light years. C. 12.7 light years. Or D. 9.7 light years.
This is Brony, right?
This Yeah, it's Brony. So basically, how far is this planet that they travel to? Is how far it's located from Earth in light years? A. 8.7 light years. B. 16.7 light years. C. 12.7 or D. 9.7 light years. Are you going to use the dice for it? Game guy.
Oh, I thought this was Brony's turn.
Yeah, it's Bronny's turn, but he never answer the question. No, that's what you use the dice for.
Right. Sorry.
Wake up next time, dude.
Oh, he said no.
Wait, is it? Are you not playing, Brony? Wait, are you playing yes or no? I'm now a little bit confused there.
All right, let me reword it for you. Are you playing Brony? Yes or no?
All right,
There we
that makes
go.
sense. Okay, I was a little bit confused there, but I mean understand
Okay,
if you can
I have an idea. If Brony doesn't want to talk, he could answer the questions in the
in the private
chat.
chat. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. If that depends on
That's
if he can
reasonable.
talk or doesn't want to talk, that's fine.
yep. Private
Because
chat
for
could
most,
be the answers for him.
yeah, because most of the time in the past when he was talking, it sometimes we could barely hear him. There was either he was outside and it was windy and that messed up the mic for him. So it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes
and
sometimes older devices, the speaker and microphone goes out before the rest of the phone.
that's true. That's true. They do. Older models
My
and
older my older phone, the speaker starting one side of the speaker is out and the other speakers still works, but not as loud as usual.
that's good to know though. So what was his answer that he gets?
I
I
think
think you could repeat it so he could answer it better.
All right. The planet C-57D travel is located a number of light years from Earth. How many light years is the planet located from Earth? A. 8.7 light years. B. 16.7 light years. C. 12.7 light years. Or D. 9.7 light years. I can put that in a private so that he can see himself if want to.
Yeah. Oh, he just. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. He could answer it better that way too.
So, Dashi, you did tell us, but was it yesterday, that you had some problems that someone called you on Facebook multiple times? Has that
No,
happened?
not me. I
No, but
was. Um, I had to change my settings in my phone to where the screen times out at 10 or 15 minutes. And I think when my screen was on for a half hour multiple times, the screen stays active on Messenger. And when I fall asleep, sometimes I toss and turn. And I think my tossing and turning touched the video call or regular call button a few
well,
times on Malachite's
then
messages.
why wouldn't you just put the phone on a table or somewhere listed, not on the actual bed?
I put it far away from my pillows, but I still somehow hit the button and
Mm,
I turned it to 10 or 15 minutes in uh, inactivity. Then it would turn off the screen, lock it. So basically, I turned it on for 10 or 15 minutes, and it
okay,
hasn't
that makes
done,
sense.
yeah, it hasn't done that ever since.
Yeah, my phone though is not like anything like that happened since first, my phone doesn't even have access to Facebook or any for social media. After all, it's not even a smartphone. And second, I usually keep my phone under on a desk or even on the floor itself, or just simply turn it off.
Uh, yeah, I usually ever since I turned the setting to 10 or 15 minutes of inactivity, then it locks. It hasn't done it ever since then. Okay, I think he responded.
No, it was me.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't. He hasn't even answered. Brony, what do you say? Is it an A, B, or C, or D? A. He said A.
all right.
Uh,
I think
A
he,
ain't wrong. It's actually B. 16.7 light years.
Brony, were you taking some time to think of the answer?
Sometimes they need that.
Uh,
You don't have to rush into the answer if they need time to, to even think of the answer. So
uh, he's usually pretty
okay,
good at quick answers.
yeah. Number 15 for you, Dashi. The character Edward Morbius was one of the people that came to planet with Bellerophon, and what title does he have? A. Doctor, B. Technician, C. Colonel, or D. Teacher?
I say a doctor.
Ding ding ding, correct. It's actually
Oh,
A. Doctor.
that's
But
from my first correct answer.
yeah, but
Well, technically.
he is not a medical doctor. He's
Uh,
he's a doctor in uh, uh, uh you know, the doctor can you can actually have PhD in different subjects like literature, science, or something like that. So it's not.
doctoring multiple things.
Yeah, they can be, but not a medical one. But at least that.
Yeah, and I have. Did you guys know that there is the oxygen either from the oh, whatever that liquid. Oh shoot, what is it called when you put freezing cold air onto your skin and it freezes your body? I'm trying to think of it. Liquid,
You mean
not liquid
if you have
nitrogen.
been if you have been exposed to cold temperature for a long time that you're getting cold
No,
and
it's oxygen, but it's so freaking cold, and you have to have it in a insulated tin, and it's like used in science projects.
uh I think I know what you mean, but I can't remember exactly what the name of it because when you talked about something like cold air, that was like I was expecting you talked about hypothermia or something like that, but I think I know what you mean, but at right the moment I don't remember what it's called. It's
Um, it's like you can put a balloon in it and it freezes the oxygen. And when this lady puts the thing on it, it's magnetic. So it basically sticks to two magnets. Liquid, not is it liquid nitrogen?
yeah, I believe it is.
I'm trying to think of what the actual name for it is, but it
It's
is magnetic. So when this lady on YouTube Shorts put the liquid nitrogen, yeah, I think that's the name. When she put liquid nitrogen on two magnets, it stuck to the magnets like they were uh, part of the magnets, but there was no gap in between liquid nitrogen in the middle of two magnets. So
huh.
liquid nitrogen is magnetic.
Yeah, and there's another thing about that. You can't just handle liquid nitrogen either by just simple by your hand because you do, your hand is basically gone because
Yeah, but if you
it's
do it really, if you put your hand in there really quick and pull it out, it won't affect your skin at all or your body.
that same if the same thing as for dry ice. That is a
Oh, that's
one
what it
eye
is.
dry
Dry
eye.
ice, but liquid
Yeah,
form.
dry ice. Yeah, dry ice is it's basically it looks like a normal ice, but you can actually have it in your room for hours without actually melt much, and you could even have it in your hand. But if you have it for in a long, even for just a minute, it will burn. It will literally burn your hand, like
Yep.
if you're like that. It's normal, but dry ice is not a normal type of ice. And here's
Yeah,
the one much.
and liquid
Here's
nitrogen. When this lady put liquid nitrogen in a bucket and then put the balloon full of oxygen in there, it turned the oxygen into a magnetic thing. So she put the frozen balloon with the liquid nitrogen and dumped it over the magnets, and it made the oxygen magnetic.
hmm, that's kind of cool though.
Yeah,
But I even learned that when it comes to like ice, you think normal ice is common, but it turned out there are, I think it's about 12 or 16 types of different ice
yeah,
because each different ice has a different structure, like
yeah,
say how
and
did their atomic level,
yeah.
but it
And
is.
there's this other video I've seen on YouTube where this guy freezes a silver ball full of, it's like completely silver, and he or she heats it up to where it looks like it's completely red. It's kind of like a lava ball where it's all red, but he puts it on a big chunk of square ice,
Hmm.
and it makes this screeching sound, but eventually it goes into the ice and turns gold.
Oh, wow, that's cool. And
Yeah,
here's another thing. Yeah. Um, here's another thing that I don't know if most people know this, but in when you're looking at snow when it's white, but it actually doesn't even have a color. It's transparent.
huh.
Even I didn't know. I didn't know that myself. Even polar bears' fur isn't even white either. It's transparent. The only illusion it turns like white.
Huh. I did not
Let's
know
go.
that.
Yeah. Let's continue.
All right.
Number 16 for you, game guy. How many moons does the planet have in orbit? A, 3, B, 1, C, 2, or D, 4?
A final.
Wrong fact is C, 2 moons.
Huh.
Number 17 for Brony. During the early times on the planet, Edward Morbius built a robot and he gave it a name. And what name did he name the robot? A. Larry. B. Robbie. C. Adam. Or D. Ronald.
You could always type it in there for him too.
So basically, the character Edward Morbius built a robot. He gave it a name. Is either A. Larry, B. Robbie, C. Adam, or D. Ronald.
He said A.
A. Wrong is actually B. Robbie. Number 18, hard question for you, Dashi. The robot that Edward Morbius had built was programmed with many different languages and dialects, but how many languages could this robot, Robbie, speak? A. 58, B. 146, C. 182, or D. 124?
I say B.
B. 146.
Yes, final answer.
And final wrong is actually C. 182 languages.
Dang, I was gonna go with that, but I changed my mind. Darn
Yeah,
it.
but still, I mean, a robot that can speak 182 languages and different dialects is impressive. But
Yeah, it
considering
is.
now, and considering right now, there's over 190 plus nations in our current art world right now,
Huh.
and each country has one official or unofficial language. Like America doesn't even have one official language, but the most spoken is English. But there's Spanish and other, and as but then there are countries that also have different dialects. Like say in France or in Spain or in Spanish, there might be different dialects of that. Or as for Brony, who lives in Indonesia, even if he has one main language as an official language, but his country can be divided into multiple different dialects because his country is big and I believe it's considered one of the I think it's considered the third or fourth largest populated country in the world, which and it has not just 10 or 12 different tribes or like that. In for the time, it had thousands of different languages. Of course,
Dang.
over time, many those as it's as for people or animals, even language can go extinct.
Mm.
So, but for Brony's country, there are multiple different dialects, languages, and it says as it's the same in Sweden. My country has Swedish as is the main official language, but also a few others, even including a different dialects. But several of the dialects that in my country is dying. Some of them are in a low number of people that speaks it. It's it happens everywhere. No matter where you are in the world, some language could have a dialect or some that could be going extinct over time. Okay,
Dang.
number 19 for Game Guy. Edward Morbius was married during a journey on Bellerophon, and his wife has a scientific profession. What was her scientific major? A. Astrophysics. B. Biochemistry. C. Astrobiologist. Or D. Botanist.
I'm gonna go with A.
A. Wrong. It's actually B. Biochemistry. And do you know what astrobiologist is?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, shoot. I don't think I do, actually.
that's actually a profession that's when they study potential alien life, like Mars, Europa, you name it, something like that. And Dashi, your picture's gone.
Um, It is.
Yep.
Let me see if I could change it.
And number 20 for Brony.
Is it
How
back?
many? Yeah, it's back, but it's your old one. There we go.
Is it? There we go.
Yep, it's there.
I have to
How
switch back
many?
and forth.
Yeah. Number 20 for Brony. How many were alive after some time after Bellerophon had landed on the planet? A 25, B 3, C 45, or D 78? And I can't say exactly how many people that were on board that starship. That they never gave an exact number of people. They only mentioned that only big, but they gave it. They didn't mention exact by precise number of people. So, but how many survived sometimes after the ship or the starship landed on the planet? Was it 25, 3, 45, or 78 people?
Brownie. Does this even your question?
I think he's trying to think of what the right one is.
Fair enough. What's over here?
Well, you are waiting for his answer. How you been doing, Dashi?
I've been doing good. I've been talking to my girlfriend lately.
Oh, that's good.
Yep, for sure.
Brony, do you know what was it your answer for this question?
We can't wait, can we?
Unfortunately, no. We can't wait too
You
long
would
for
have gone
this.
C.
What was the answer?
C. That's what the
C.
dice goes with.
Well, it was wrong. It's actually B, 3 people. Number 21 for you, Dashi. Edward Morbius has a daughter that was born on the planet, and what was her name? A. Angela, B. Martha, C. Altera, or uh, D. Olivia.
I'd say A.
And wrong, exactly C. Altera.
Dang.
Number 22 for you, for you, game guy. After Morbius had lunch with the commander of C-57D and 2 of his men, Morbius had offered him had offered him something to drink. What did he offer? A. Tea, B. Whiskey, C. Tequila, or D. Coffee.
It went with A again. This feels very familiar.
Wrong, it's actually D. Coffee. Number 23 for Brownie. The the planet was the planet were once inhabited by non-humanoid species called Krell, they had visited Earth at one point in the distant past and brought back some and brought some Earth animals, and one of them was a grass-eating animal. And what was it? A. Horse. B. Deer. C. Rabbits. Or D. Elephants.
Oh,
So
this is
basically,
me, isn't it?
this is actually Bronies.
Ah,
So basically, there's a non-humanoid alien race called Krell had been to Earth at one time in the distant past and brought back some Earth animals, and one of them was a grass-eating animal. Was it a horse, deer, rabbits, or elephants?
give Brownie a few seconds. So he might answer. What question are we at, by the way?
Number 23.
Oh boy.
It's only about 49 questions left. It's not 81 this time, it's only 72. They've had a little bit difficult to figure out any potential questions. I mean, I had to go through this movie about almost 3 times in to figure out what I can use as a question, like if there was a quote between a character, or if there was something mentioned, like if they meant something like never something that was never seen, or something like it. It was a bit difficult. I mean, at least 72 questions, and then just 10 or 10, 20. Brony, do you know the answer?
Who?
If the if the species brought back horse, deer, rabbits, or elephants to the planet from Earth,
Whose turn is it?
Bronies,
Hmm.
and he has an answer. So, I mean, he had done in the past where, well, he fell asleep in his dreams. I think it is twice or 3 times by this point, but it could have just been 2 times, but I'm not so sure. And if Brony doesn't even can't answer, Game Guy can always use a dice for that one. He says it's B, deer. And it incorrect is actually B, deer.
Oh dear. I say that because I don't know how many points he had. It looks like it's 3.
Yeah, it's
So
3 points. He has 3 points. You have 1 point, and Dashi has only 1 point so far. Number 24 for Dashi. The non-humanoid Krell brought an Earth predator animal to their home planet. And what did it bring back? A. Tiger. B. Lion. C. Jaguar. Or D. Panther. Oh
My turn.
boy.
My turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. The non-humanoid Krell brought an Earth animal predator to the home planet, and what animal did it bring back? A. Tiger. B. Lion. C. Jaguar. Or D. Panther.
D. Panther. Final answer.
Wrong. It's actually A. Tiger. They literally use an actual tiger in the movie. Here's the thing: the Morbius' daughter, Altera, she could literally have the tiger approach her, and somehow she could. When she was interacted with the tiger, it literally became like a big kitten. I'm not joking. She can even somehow communicate with the deers as well. But if anyone else tried to approach the tiger, it would become a very ferocious, a very much deadly animal. Unless if you were in a company of Altera. And boy, do we have one in the comments. Malachi Sunlight Avatar 416. I would have been surprised if you said it was elephants Swedish because I can understand horses and deers, but elephants would have been a very surprising indeed.
Malachite, get
Well,
in here.
and
Uh,
Malachite, you've been saying this. Uh, Elephants, well, that depends on, of course, on which. If if you're referring to like the more modern elephants, um, according to the movie and the timeline, it would not have been the modern elephants because they wouldn't even existed. In fact, this was even way before modern man was even a thing. That far back in time when the Krell did visit Earth. This was even before modern man was even existed. Anyways, number 25 for you, game guy. Which terrain is the planet mostly covered of? A. Ocean. B. Rainforest. C. Desert. Or D. Savanna.
I'm gonna go B final.
B. Rainforest. And wrong exactly. C. Desert. At least what I can see from in the movie though. Number 26 for Brony. What does the crew member Lieutenant Ostrov have? What title? A. Chief Engineer. B. Communication Officer. C. Doctor. Or D. Technician. In this case, doctor will be a medical doctor, not by any scientific or anything like that.
What is it?
He hasn't answered yet.
Oh,
And by any chance, Malachite, have you ever heard of this movie before? Forbidden Planet? Since it was made in the mid-60s, mid-50s actually.
If he's even still here.
Well, there is someone is watching this, but hard to tell. Wait, someone answered, and uh, see, he said, now, no, it's actually 1956, not 55, but close. Leslie Nielsen was the main character in this movie as the commander of this ship. This might surprise you. The ship was actually shaped as a flying saucer. I'm not kidding. It literally shaped as a flying saucer. And I explained, as I told Game Guy and Dash before earlier, um, it's it's unlikely that they use a flying saucer as an inspiration based on Roswell crash in 1947 and other ships that are UFOs that hadn't expected or been seen since. But anyways, yeah, it said then I have not. I have but never watched it at all. Ah, if you heard, have you heard of Robbie the robot? Uh, uh, Robbie the robot, which actually is they actually had made a toy based on that character. And as he said, and give me the year it was filmed. That's why I said what I said about the elephant's answer choice. Yeah, makes sense though, Malachite. It makes sense. Um, but anyways, I will put the potential answers for Brony to answer here. Is either A, chief engineer, be communication officer or C, doctor or D, technician. And I've seen this movie myself, Malkat, at least a handful of times. It's actually not that bad movie. I think it's actually seen once on TV and most of the other times on not YouTube but on online actually. Well, he's gone.
I'm going to end it here
Uh,
because my phone's getting hot.
are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave because my phone's hot and I don't want it to overheat and shut down.
All right.
It was fun talking to you guys, though.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and Goldfire is finally here. Took you
Looks
long
like
enough.
Dashty is that's just gonna get replaced by Malachi here.
Well, I'm gonna leave you guys and Malachite because my phone's getting hot, and
It's always a
if
word.
I took off my case and I felt my phone, I would burn myself.
I don't think that's possible, but okay.
You know, when I use StreamYard on my laptop for a while, my laptop overheats and says, "Please turn off your computer to let it cool," and stuff like that. I just don't worry about it on my
Okay,
laptop.
can I say something real quick?
Yeah,
Before I've got this computer, which also overheat like old Chrome did, yeah, old Chrome never said that once in the 5 years I've had it. So
yeah, my laptop is a Windows 10.
yeah, but if old Chrome did that too, I feel like it would have given me that message too. So
Uh, some
I
laptops
don't
do,
know.
some don't.
You could think it would, but still, whatever.
Yeah.
Not just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because is my camera area is hot, and that's where my processor is. And if I keep my case on long, it can actually overheat and turn off. Malachi understands that as well because I had to let him go because my phone was so freaking hot and the processor overheated.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
one time
because
even my old laptop one had once before. It eventually did getting overheated. I could even use it more like perhaps as 15 minutes at most.
yeah, and I had to get a new laptop because my old laptop just quit because the processor blew up. So yeah, and also I'm gonna have to. The more I use this case, the more it's gonna heat build up, and the more heat build up, the more the phone's gonna overheat.
Yeah, and also it could eventually even affect the batteries all that as well.
Yeah, and the more heat it builds up, the more battery it's gonna damage.
Yep, and that you don't want to. After all, phones these days can be expensive to be repaired or to buy a new one. Depends on if brand new or not.
Yeah, mine was like $70 to $80 for the phone alone, and with the service, it's around 100 and something dollars.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, so we should let you go so we might
Isn't
have
there
a
like
problem.
some? Isn't there like some sort of method that can cool your phone down so it doesn't heat automatically and too much?
no, I've been trying to find a case that would do that, but and I have my phone plugged in too, so that could also affect my phone as well. Because on StreamYard, if I don't keep my phone plugged in, my phone can die, and you're like, what happened, Dashi? I'll be like, my phone died. So yeah, I have to keep my phone plugged in 24/7 if I do StreamYard.
Hmm. Perhaps next time you can use your computer or something.
Yeah, I'm hoping this new Wi-Fi card comes in soon, so I could try it out and see if the Wi-Fi stays connected more than a half hour.
All right. So yeah, but let you go. So
All right, see you later, guys.
see ya.
So yeah.
So that means Goldfire will take over for Dashidan.
I guess.
That depends if he wants to play though.
Mm.
And it's only like 72 questions in total. So, but
I
this
mean,
is actually
I literally like have heard of the film. I just never had time to particularly watch it. I mean, I do have
It's one of those
some.
movies.
I do have favorites. I mean, what be the chances? What would be the chances, Swedish? One day we do a 200 movie quiz.
120 movie questions.
No, I said 200.
Uh, I
You
mean, I had
saying there should be 200 questions or what?
well to
The
be
first
fair.
thing
I
is what
mean,
you said, game guy.
well to be fair, I actually do have a quiz that is already downloaded about movies. It's about 82 questions. I can always add some more.
Hmm?
I mean, it's not impossible.
I mean, the quizzes don't always have to be like just about 80 questions. It could be a bit more.
Yeah, I actually going to do as a cryptic questions that's gonna be by the end of the month since um
Well, let's
but
hope our favorite cryptid shows up.
but here's one of my opinion to you. How many do you think I should do? I was considering either 330 plus
Hmm. How many
or even as
questions do?
400
How many?
or is simply 240.
Uh,
How many questions you have? Um
how many
ooh
questions per
well
the first quizzes?
81. So if I
Um.
do 4 times 81 that's 324. If I would do 5 that will be 405 questions.
mm,
Well, we can talk more about that later after this was over. Brony, are you still there? Is your question?
mm,
Well, seems he's AFK or something. Um, game guy, you know what to do.
Hey, what I said, B.
He said B and is actually C, doctor. Then it would be number 27 trick question for um our new Dashi.
Come on
Dashi
now.
2.0.
I mean, as I said, new Dashi and not otherwise. But yeah, Goldfire is your next. It's a trick question. Can the C57D land on the planet? Yes or no?
I wouldn't be surprised, but um, um, no.
Wrong, exactly. Yes. Next question for game guy. Hard question number 28. The
Who has
robot
points at the moment? So I know because I just came in here.
Brony has 3 points. Dashi has 1 point, and game guy has 1 point. So Brony's in the lead. Okay, number 28. Hard question for you, game guy. Robbie can carry quite of heavy objects. He carried lead plates to the C-57D, and he carried 5 lead plates. And how much did they weigh? A. 2 tons. B. 10 tons. C. 5 tons. Or D. 8 tons.
I'm gonna go with C final.
Wrong. It's actually B. 10 tons. And that is
Dang.
really ton. That's very quite heavy. That's even more than in a common car, actually. I mean, my family car, it's about between 2 or 3 tons. So 10 tons, that's a lot.
That would almost be like carrying a whole dump truck.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And he has,
one of the main dump trucks.
oh yeah, I mean, that's impressive that he can actually do that. And here's the thing about him. He can actually recreate any drink or food after, if let's say, if you have a very favorite food that you like, and if you want him to make it, if you can make yourself, or you put some of that food in some sort of like a in his chest area, it's like a lab or inbuilt lab. Put his other food in there, and his computer that he has process it, like analyzing the compounds, the structure of this, and after that he can easily reproduce that much as at any time and exactly as this tastes like it. The same thing is for drinks. Like say if you have a bottle of whiskey
Or like
or
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, and that's, or even you want ice cream. Like say if you want your, even like say if you were going to the store and they had this limited edition of type of an ice cream and you suddenly like it, and you know that eventually it will be gone and it won't be back until maybe next year. And if you've had a machine, you could have literally reproduce it. It's like the same thing as for in Star Trek. They have this machine replicator. It could replicate basically anything. Well, it depends on what you want to have it made, but otherwise, it's something like that. Okay,
And
number 29 for.
if I was to ask you real quick, Swish, considering what you're saying about this robot fella, if I had to ultimate guess, I would say it would probably be around $2 to $5 million just to reconstruct one of him.
Realistically, yeah,
Just my ultimate guess. Considering how much they use for robot technology.
at a time, well, I mean, it was actually a person that, um, ooh, yeah, is it here? Robbie was constructed from metal, plastic, and glass, and cost about $100,000 to make.
Uh,
And it it and it says here he sold on auction $5.38 million.
Damn!
Yeah, and that robot is actually taller than the average human, but 7 feet tall. So even taller than Kubo. So, I mean, it costed $100,000 to build him, and it sold for nearly five, almost for a little bit, almost $6 million for it, and it actually even had a person inside that operated, like R2D2. It's impressive how, considering back in the 50s and then later in the 60s, they actually could build something like this. I mean, you have heard of Lost in Space, right?
Doing Lockhart and them?
Uh, uh, I don't know. I mean, like in the original series from the 60s, that same thing. That also was having a person inside. And it's impressive how things like that is. I mean, who would even imagine basically an operate robot that from someone operate from inside by the time cost $100,000 to build, and later on it could have been worth from $5 to almost $6 million for it. It's impressive how things. I mean, it's like that. I mean, since this movie, Robbie, or the Forbidden Planet has only been made once. There were plans to make a remake of it, but eventually it was cancelled. But Lost in Space,
I
the series.
yeah, I heard of Lost in Space. I remembers June Lockhart and Bob May, who was the robot on that show.
Yeah, yeah, that series was the original series was made in the 60s, but they later made a remake of or rebooted of it in 2018, and they even made a movie of that one. I believe it was in the early 2000s, which I have seen, and it's different. Anyways, let's continue with this. Number 29 for Brony. When the crew of the starship was preparing to build a transmitter to communicating uh, to build a transmitter, the commanding officer pointed to a man in a crane tractor to lift up someone by the crane. And who did he lift up? A. Chief Quinn, B. Ostrov, C. The cook, or D. Bosun. Bosun is actually a title that's often used on ships. Like I think first mate or something like that, or first officer. Yeah, and I see your comment there, Goldfire. Sasquatch bot. uh, that's the options that if Brony want to use.
And
You know,
I'm and looking at those. Wouldn't Astra be like a pay officer, that kind of stuff?
he's
Because
actually
that
the
must be a
medical officer.
rate.
Ostrov is actually the medical officer.
Oh,
Yeah, and the cook doesn't even have any official name in the movie. They only call him the cook as a cast of that.
you want an interesting weird name for a cook? Tell him, get back to work, you hot ass.
Yeah, that's yeah, and especially when this humanoid alien species, the Krell, but they visit Earth, brought back some deers and other animals, even as tigers. And I mean, the first time I actually saw the movie, they since they literally use an actual tiger in on the set, I was like, ugh, is that a little bit too dangerous considering how bad it can be? Oh boy. But it turned out that they weren't even like that. Even like MGM, the movie production company, which used the lion as their logo, is has never been the same lion as from the when they formed the company until now. It has been different lions over the years. I believe that the one they use now is the seventh in a line, and they have different names as well. Well, seems Brony is not answering, or if it's even awake.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know what to ask. It's a dice time.
You would have gone with D.
D.
D
Let me
indeed.
see. D as Bosun.
Yeah, whatever D was, I don't know.
It was wrong. It's actually C, the Coke.
Alright.
Number 30. For
I guess
Goldfire.
his omelet. I guess his omelets don't go good with Alienware.
Well,
Don't ask the D8.
I wasn't.
okay, for Goldfire. Number 30. How big is the crew on board the starship C-57D? A. 11, B. 18, C. 12, or D. 16?
Um, 20.
20 was not even an option. 11, 18, 12, or
Mm,
16. I mean, this ship doesn't even really have a big, isn't that big crew, but it's either 11, 18, 12, or 16.
I'll say 18.
B. Ding ding ding, correct. It's actually 18. Number 31 for Game Guide. Edward's daughter asked Robbie to make a dress for her, and when she asked for star sapphires, he told her it would take certain time amount of time for have them to crystallization perfect, and how much time would it take? A. 12 hours, B. 2 days, C. 1 week, or D. 3 days.
Oh, it's my turn. Sorry. All right. C final.
C.
Yep.
Ding ding ding, correct. Exactly 1 week that it will take.
Yay! I got an actual point. I can't believe it. That's crazy.
Number 32 for Brony. After the old Terra asked Robbie how about the new dress, and he suggested about diamonds, and it would take faster to make them, and he said the diamonds would have certain carats, and how many carats would they have as a diamond be? A. 8 carats, B. 15 carats, C. 11 carats, or D. 9 carats.
Get ready for the dice again.
I would rather kiss the back of a poison dart frog. Thank you very much. I mean
um,
it. Anyway,
yeah, this is Brony's question. Other um uh Altera asked Robbie to make certain gems for her new dress, and he suggested to use diamonds, since it will be faster to make them. And he suggested to use a certain carats. Was it 8 carats, 12, 15 carats, 11 carats, or 9 carats?
moving this along. He would have gone with D.
D, 9 carats.
Yep.
And wrong is actually B, 15. Number 33, hard question for you, Goldfire. um, Even though this species of Krell, it's non-humanoid. The non-humanoid Krell were quite a technological advanced civilization, and they were much more advanced than humans. And how much more advanced were they? A. 100,000 years, B. 350,000 years, C. 1 million years, or D. 250,000 years. Meaning that how advanced further ahead of they were by technology.
Mm, I would have to say 100,000.
Wrong, it's actually C. 1 million years. That advanced compared to Earth they were. Number 34 from Game Guy. The alien race Krell built a certain shape on their doorways, and what shape did they use on their doorways? A. Square, B. Circle, C. Triangle, or D. Octagon.
This is me,
I like
right?
it. Yep, it's your
I'm gonna go with C final.
triangle. Ding ding ding. Correct. It's actually C. They
Right?
build. They use triangle as a shape for their doorways, as we do use for squares. Number 35, trick question for Game Guy. Sorry, for Brownie. Can Robbie fire a blaster against a person? Yes or no? Well, you know what to do.
Well, you would have gone with B.
It would be. This is a
Oh,
yes or no question.
that would be yes. Sorry.
Rom's actually no. He can't. Well, technically he could, but he was programmed with not to. If you guys are familiar with the free robotic laws,
I
are
don't
you?
think so.
No.
Uh, well, basically, it's a scientific uh, an author who made. Okay, have you guys heard of the movie I Robot?
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Same here.
Well, that's basically there are three rules that in basic that the robots that in this movie now. The third law is that they can't harm, and one of the rules are not that they can't harm any humans. Even if they have a weapon, if they had to defend themselves against another person, but that meant that they can't even harm a human. So if Morbius put a blaster in Rob's hand and he orders to fire upon, say, a plant, it works. He can literally vaporize a plant. But if he points a person, it triggers a sensor in his mechanical brain and circuit and prevents him using it. And it's more than that. It's impressive how, and this particular laws was actually, I believe they were made by a particular author, Eisenhoff. I believe it was in the 60s or in the 70s when he made a book series. Anyways, number 36 for uh, the Goldfire. The Krell species did build cities of two certain elements. And which elements was it? A. Glass, porcelain. B. Granite and steel. C. Glass and granite. Or D. Wood and metal.
I honestly have no idea.
So what do you guess though? Either A, B, C, or D.
Um, what, what were the choices?
They need privates. It's either glass porcelain, granite steel, glass granite, or wood metal.
I would say A.
Final.
And I'm, I'm looking at them. I'm leaning between either A and C, but yeah, I would have said A.
Ding ding ding, correct. It's actually A. Glass porcelain. Eh, I mean, considering how um, porcelain is very delicate material. Well, that depends if they somehow made it even more stronger. Number 37 for Game Guy. Trick question. Did the Krell species society remove crime and hunger and war from their world? Yes or no?
Um. Yes.
Ding ding ding, correct, exactly yes. Okay, hard question number 38 for Brony. Edward Morbius played a piece of Krell music for the commander and one of his men in his office. And he said that the music was made of a certain time in the past, and how many years earlier was this made compared to the standard human calendar? A. 110,000 years ago. B. 90,000 years ago. C. 500,000 years ago. Or D. 200,000 years ago.
Yeah. I'm not waiting. Yeah, to move this along. Oh, never mind.
He said C. 500,000 years ago. Ding ding ding. Correct. It's actually C. That's impressive. Like he used a piece of their music that was made of one half a million years before any of the human colonies came to this particular planet, which is impressive that even survived for that long. Number 39 for Goldfire. Edward Morbius has a high IQ, and how high is it? A 145, B 183, C 175, or D 169.
Hmm. choices.
A 145, B 183, C 175, or D 169.
Um, whichever one was the A option.
A,
Yeah.
that will be that will be 145.
I mean, which one had an 8 in it?
That will be B.
Yeah, that's my choice.
Final?
Yeah.
Incorrect. Exactly 183.
Wow.
That- Yeah. Well, technically, his IQ was not that much originally. He he came across an old abandoned. He came across this one intact Krell lab, and they had this machine there when he used it. After he was after using somehow it doubled his intelligence. But still, even at the 183, it was considered as a genius level. And if you were like say if you were having high IQ, you could join the one of the most famous clubs called Mensa. But uh, but I don't understand. I don't even know exactly how they would measure someone's IQ like that. But considered as a genius or a prodigy child as a young age can sometimes be considered as uh, a blessing or even as a curse. It depends on how you see it. Number 40, trick question for Brony. Edward Morbius showed the commander and one of his men a machine in a Krell lab that could measure someone's intelligence. Morbius said a 7-year-old of a Krell could push the measure device all the way to the top, and compared to him, he would have been a low-grade moron, since he can only push it like maybe it's halfway up. So what he considered as a low-grade moron compared to the a 7-year-old Krell if using machine, yes or no?
This is the me, isn't it?
It's Brony. Oh
Oh,
yeah, no wait, no, it's yours. Sorry.
no.
Wrong, exactly yes. Number 41 for Brony. Lieutenant Ostrov has a high IQ, and how high is it? A 161, B 142, C 158, or D 128? Is either A 161, B 142, C 158, or D 128? As how high this IQ of Lieutenant Ostrov was. Well, since if Ronnie doesn't even answer, you know what to do.
He would have gone with B.
B. Ron's actually A, 161. Is also not a bad intelligence or IQ, though, but I'm not very sure what level that you would have been if considered as a genius. Number 42 for Goldfire. When Edward Morbius used a machine that can create a 3D image when he was unconscious for some time, and how long was he unconscious? A. 3 days. B. 1 day. C. 2 days. Or D. 4 days. And this is goal first.
Mm,
So basically, Edward Morbius used a machine that could create a 3D image of anything, and if it made a person, it could appear as if it was alive. But using it made him unconscious. And how much time did he was unconscious? Was it 3 days, 1 day, 2 days, or 4 days?
um, hmm. Yeah, you smart Alec. Uh, um, I would probably have to go with the most.
4 days.
Oh, oh wait a minute. Did you say 3 days as an option?
3 days, 1 day, 2 days, and 4 days.
Um, Actually, I'll say 2 days.
See, ding ding ding, correct, exactly 2 days.
Hmm.
Number 43, hard question for you, game guy. The Starship's cook asked Robbie if he could make more of the alcoholic drink that he had with him, and Robbie said he could produce more. And Robbie said he could produce a certain amount, and how much was it? A. 20 gallon, B. 90 gallon, C. 60 gallon, or D. 50 gallon.
A final.
Wrong, exactly C. 60 gallon. That is insane.
If it was 90, then that would have been the Kool-Aid Man times 10.
Mm-hmm. Unless if he said like 120 gallon, that would have been. And since he did actually, the bottle he had, there wasn't not even that much left in it. Like less than half of the bottle, and Robbie took all of that. And after just analyze, he said it was basically an easy beverage drink that he could do. And when he asked the cook if 60 gallon would have been enough, and the cook was really more than surprised that it was more than enough. And it's impressive how he can even make that. Number 44 for Brownie. What happened to the captain of Bellerophon when he tried the 3D machine? A. He was unconscious for a few days. B. He went insane. C. He died after first attempt. Or D. He got smarter. And this is Brony's question. Another thing about they didn't use the word captain or commander. They used the word skipper as for like on actual sea ships. If Brony doesn't answer, or can always use a D20 or a D8 or what you call it.
He would have gone with B.
B. He went insane, and wrong is actually C. He died after first attempt, and that captain died. Well, Morbius, he used the same machine, but he was only unconscious. It that machine is hard to say and tell exactly what would happen to anyone. I mean, if three of us test the machine or four of us test it, there's only, I don't know, maybe a 50-50 chance that maybe just one of us would die of it, or all of us get smarter. Who knows? But I wouldn't want to take the risk. Number 45, trick question for you, Goldfire. Did ever Morbius' wife die of natural causes? Yes or no?
Um, yes.
Ding ding ding. Correct. Exactly. Yes.
Wow.
Number four. Yeah. Uh,
Natural
here's
causes. Would that include poison or something?
um.
Poison's not really natural, but
Well, I mean that depends if she ate something on the planet that was unavid, which they didn't know if it was poisoned.
Oh.
I mean, they they never actually give a precise of what cause.
That poison to me in asking about in asking about poison, I don't I'm sometimes not sure if it is sort of like natural, even if it is some sort of liquid like venom.
True. I mean, it depends on like if you were eating a poisonous uh, plant or berry or something like that, or fruit, especially a berry on a planet that you don't that humans had even been to before, never been explored. So they never actually told or said precise exactly what she died of. If and since after she died, there was only Morbius and his daughter left alive on the planet, while the rest of the people died under, well, they he said unnatural ways. Most of them were found ripped apart by an unseen force. But but his wife died of natural causes. But they didn't say exactly what she died of or how old she was. It's very hard to say for exact. Okay, for game guide number 46. The starship Bellerophon was destroyed when it was vaporized after trying leaving the planet, and a number of survivors were on board, and how many were they? A 12, B 9, C 8, or D 3?
D final. Why are you laughing, you weasel?
Did they say B or D?
I said D.
Ding 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 ding, correct, exactly 3. Well, the ship wasn't destroyed. That wasn't vaporized. If there's some other people on the planet tried to stop them, or if there was some sabotage. It was an unseen, I mean, an invisible force that somehow made the ship completely vaporized. And the cause of that was actually Morbius, unintentionally, of course. He after he used that machine, he spent a lot of time in that ancient Krell lab to study um, their language and other artifacts that he found. And one of the machines that were literally like a if you go to a library these days, there's old newspapers that had been put on film. You know what I mean? You like this like a button you that is scrolling like a that. That was the same thing, and it said compared to those volumes of documents that he found in that particular machine, would have been millions of books compared to Earth library sizes. And he had only studied a fraction of that. And it's impressive. So he was the literally cause of most of the other survivors' death. Um, well, like I said, it wasn't unintentionally that he caused them all died. After he used the machine, it somehow after he used that intelligence machine that I mentioned, somehow it triggered his monster from it or subconscious. So even though he wasn't aware of that, but he was the cause of most of his other colonists to be killed. Not even including not in his wife though, but after the last survivor died, including after him and his daughter, that force was never seen again. But anyways, number 47 for Brony. Hard question. When did the Krell civilization went extinct during the century in the storyline of the movie? A. 98,000 years ago. B. 200,000 years ago. or C, 150,000 years ago, or D, 120,000 years ago?
This is Brony, right?
Yep, it is.
All right.
And this is some kind of like the story of Atlantis. You see, Krell's civilization vanished just in one single night, like Atlantis.
A final. That's what the dice
A,
rolled. Yeah.
A, wrong, it's actually B, 200,000 years before before the the second starship came to the planet. And there are no records of how the cities looked like. Nothing. Nothing on about the above ground survived from their civilization. Everything else was deep underground. Number 48 for Goldfire. Morbius showed the commander and one of his men one of Krell's ventilation shafts, and it had a number of levels. And how many levels does it have? A. 800, B. 1100, C. 900, or D. 1700?
Hmm.
So, what's the answer? Ah, he's muted. Whew.
Choices.
800, 1100, 900, or 1700?
No, not
Uh,
you, Brony. This is
this is
Malachi's.
actually Goldfire's question. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Bring it, you green
Oh,
leprechaun. I dare you, you Michigan leprechaun.
So
uh,
tired.
900.
Final?
Yeah.
Wrong, it's actually D, 1700.
Damn.
Yeah, it is. 1700 levels from up and down. Number 49, trick question for you, game guy. Is there any records of Krell's two appearance that survived after the species went extinct? Yes or no?
Uh, yes.
Wrong, it's actually no. Number 50 for Brony. How many ventilation shafts did exist on the planet total? A. 120, B. 400, C. 200, or D. 180?
Can we take that A he said earlier as his answer now?
Unfortunately, no.
I know, I was joking.
It was either 120, 400, 200, or 180 um, ventilation shafts on the plant. Brownie, are you awake?
Gotta go around here. He would have gone with B. I rolled the
B,
dice. Rolled this one wrong. Yeah.
400, correct, exactly B. That's insane. 400 ventilation shafts. Number 51 for Goldfire. There is an underground power unit on the planet. How deep underground is it? A. 10 miles. B. 25 miles. C. 38 miles. Or D. 50 miles.
20.
25.
Yeah.
Wrong, exactly. D. 50 miles from above the ground and deep. And that is deep. I mean, 50 miles is insane. Number 52 for Game Guy. The underground machinery on the planet goes a certain length in each direction. And how far goes it on each direction? A. 20 miles. B. 12 miles. C. 18 miles. Or D. 16 miles.
A final?
20 miles? Incorrect. Exactly 20 miles.
Wait.
I mean, walk from one end to 20 miles, another one is. Oh boy. Number 53, hard question for Brownie. The entire underground machinery complex is powered in a large number of thermonuclear reactors. How many reactors is powering the underground facility? A. 50. B. 250. C. 9,200. Or D. 800. Um, since it's not answering, I'm going further.
He again goes with the B.
B. Wrong, exactly C. 9,200 reactors. I mean, 9,200 thermal nuclear reactors, 50 miles deep underground. That's insane. I mean, it's just. Anyways, number 54, trick question for Goldfire. Did the crew of C-570 put a force field around the ship after something sabotaged equipment? Yes or no?
Yes.
Ding ding ding, correct, it did. Number 55 for Goldfire. Game guy, sorry. Robbie
Game fire.
managed. Huh,
They want to be
perhaps.
set on fire.
Robbie managed to make. Robbie managed to make a large number of pints of alcoholic to the cook requested. And how many pints did Robbie make? Pints is another measurement of like for gallon. So as you know, was it A 480, B 250, C 360, or D 320?
I'm gonna say A final. Again,
Ding ding ding, correct. It's actually A 480.
works for me.
That's impressive. You missed a point for Goldfire.
Oh, sorry. You have 6, and I have 6. We're tied.
Number 56 for Brownie. Which type of alcoholic drink did Robbie make for the cook? A. Vodka. B. Wine. C. Beer. Or D. Bourbon?
He would have gone with D.
Bourbon? Ding ding ding, correct. It's actually bourbon. 60-gallon of bourbon. That's a lot of it. Yeah, you won't be able to drink that unless it were alcoholic poisoning. Number 57, hard question for Goldfire. The crew of the starship C-570 found some strange footprints near the ship, and one of the crew was murdered in a strange way. The footprint was measured to be big, and how big was it? A. 25 inches, B. 47 inches, C. 28 inches, or D. 24
Oh,
inches?
I
Oh, by
bro.
Goldfire.
I'm Malachite. Hopefully he'll come back. Till then, I've got a D20 with his name on it. Well, it doesn't actually have his name on it. That would be kind of creepy, but you know what I mean. All right. Only rolling for him because we need to move to Salon. He would have gone with C.
And wrong was actually B. 47 inches. And that's a big footprint. Number 58. Trick question for you. Can the Robbie recreate any food or drink after analysis? Yes or no?
I'm gonna say no. Yes, that's actually yes. Yeah, that's yes. Yes, I'm gonna say yes.
Ding ding ding, correct, exactly yes. Number 59 for Brony. The footprint that was found near the ship has a claw print. And how many claws did it have? A. 2, B. 3, C. 4, or D. 1?
So many dice, I can't keep track of them all. He would have gone with B.
And wrong, it's actually D. 1. Okay, number 60. How many of the crew of C-570 was killed when the ship was on the planet? A. 2, B. 4, C. 5, or D. 3?
Whose turn is this?
That would be yours. Or wait. And this would actually be Fire's turn since the other one was.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair if we just knocked him out of the game. Was it a yes or no question, or was it like a thingy?
Number. How many of the crew was killed of the starship? What is 2, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 3?
Well, thankfully I rolled Malachite 1, so he gets to go with A.
And exactly B, 4.
Ah.
Number 61, hard question for you. The crew of C-57D used 2 weapon platforms against something that was invisible creature and survived a large amount of electron volts. How many electron volts did the weapons shoot at the creature? A. 100,000, B. 9 million, C. 20 million, or D. 3 billion?
Okay, this is this is bronies. This is fine. A final.
And exactly D. 3 billion volts. That's
Dang.
insane. That is insane. I don't think anything in our normal household even close even to none of this. Like not even close to 100,000 at least. Number 62, trick question. Did the advanced krill species go extinct cause of the monster of their own subconscious? Yes or no? And this is Brownies.
Well, I dropped the dice, but it went with D. So I guess he's going with D.
Yes or no?
Oh, that's yes or no. Never mind. Uh, no. That would be what that would land on, I think.
And wrong, exactly yes. Number 63. What happened to the planet after C-57D left the planet? A. Vaporized. B. Became irradiated or became toxic for radiation. C. Nothing happened to the planet. Or D. Thrown out of its orbit.
Oh, let's see if I can get Malachite better than the 1. Well, I did. That's a 9. That would be 9. That would be B final. Would be that one.
And wrong, exactly A. Vaporized. You see,
Right. Oh,
in
that's
the
not.
lab that you see Morbius had when he found the lab, he learned that there were this type of switch. If you put it pressure down, it would cause a chain reaction of those 9,200 reactors in the planet's core to go meltdown, leading it would vaporize the whole planet. And that process couldn't have been prevented, couldn't have been stopped, no matter what you do. Number 64. Krill brought some other animals to the planet. What other animal did they bring? They brought back? A. Monkey. B. Birds. C. Horses. D. Whales.
This should be mine. My question. I mean, D final.
And wrong, exactly. A. Monkey.
All right.
See, number 65. Ever Morbius' daughter, Altera, was friends with animals on the planet. They were friendly, even the predators, but one of the animals tried to attack and the commander, which animal, and trying to attack her and the commander, which animal was it? A. Tiger. B. Deer. C. Ape. Or D. Elephant.
He would have gone with B final.
And wrong, exactly. A. Tiger.
All right.
Number 63 or the 66 trick question. Are the gravity of the planet slight less than Earth's gravity? Yes or no?
Let's see. Yes.
Ding ding ding. Correct. Exactly yes. Number 67. Edward Morbius showed the commander and one of his men the Krell metal, and even with a few shots from the blaster, what happened to the metal? A. It made a small hole. B. Nothing happened. Or C. The metal absorbed the blast. Or D. The blast bounced off the metal.
Well, D was oddly specific. Doesn't mean I'm going for it though. A final.
Wrong. Exactly. B. Nothing. It was a slight different. Finally. Yeah, I got you. You stupid mosquito. um, yeah, but it was basically nothing happened. Number 68, trick question. Were ever Morbius killed by his own subconscious monster, yes or no?
Yes.
Ding ding ding, correct. He was actually dead. He died just before he told the commander how to use the switch and all that. And number 69, how much did it cost to produce the science fiction movie Forbidden Planet? A. $1,968,000. B. $1,540,000. C. $1,760,000. Or D. $1,850,000.
D final.
Wrong, exactly A. $1,968,000. It's a lot of money even back then. Number 70, hard question. Everett Morbius told the commander and his daughter to leave the planet and travel to a certain distance from the planet, and how much distant did he tell them to go? A. 20 million miles. B. 50 million miles. C. 100 million miles. Or D. 60 million miles.
D final.
Wrong, exactly C. 100 million miles. Number 71. The planet was, according to data analyzed, to have an oxygen atmosphere a slight higher than Earth's standard. How much oxygen did it contain in the atmosphere? A. 27, 25.7%. B. 23.5%. C. 26.8%. Or D. 23.9%.
Losing track of who's who. A final.
Ding ding ding, correct. It's actually A. And Earth is actually only 21%. So this is only 6.7% more than that we are used to. Well, we could survive in that. It's just we were had to be adapt to it. Number 72, the final question, which is a trick question. Were the advanced Krell species scholars and pacifists? Yes or no?
That would be yes.
Ding ding ding, correct, exactly yes.
Cool.
Well, you win.
Yep. Thanks, Day 20. I knew we could count on you.
Well, maybe next time I probably won't let you use it at all. Well,
To be fair, I didn't have one during the Thomas and Friends one, and I literally lost by 1 point. So,
true.
you know what the
Uh,
thing is with that was? If I didn't let Roy take, I forget who it was. If I didn't let Roy take those 3 points, I would have won. I only let him take it because I was like, you know what? He might need them. I was right.
true. So, what's gonna use for next topic?
No clue. That's honestly a really good question. I forget what the choices are actually. Can I get reminded of them?
Give me a second. Come on, where are you? Where are you? Oh, here we go. Um, we have Elf, the Alien comic TV show, The Last Airbender, Avatar Korra, 22 total of cryptids, Disney Gargoyles, two of them, Stargate, one of Disney Gummy Bears, World History, an anime show called Macross MLP, movies. We had the Avatar, the Blue Alien movies, Norse mythology, Phantom, the comic book hero, Pokemon, Kim Possible, Robotech, which is another animated show, not based on it, like Japanese animated. Scotland History, SCP Foundation, Space, Star Wars canon, and one Star Wars Legend, Star Trek TV shows, and UK history and US history.
I think I will take the Avatar show one.
Yep, we can do that.
Epic.
It wouldn't be any difficult. Any problem with that. Oh, well, this has been fun.
Yep.
Nearly 3 hours. Not even record. Well, I probably should end here. So,
All right.
well, this has been fun, everyone. Um, but yeah, this is also the only time I do a game to stream about Forbidden Planet, since it's an actual movie, and I went through much of the, well, pretty much of the original. I went through the movie 3 or 4 times to just figure out how many things I can use as potential question. So that's it for that. Next time is about Avatar, and it might be sometimes maybe either next weekend or the week after that. We will see. Well, as always, this is Digital signing off. Bye.
Bye.